let's kick this off with a record prediction going into 2023. Because, hey, it's the first week. This is it. It's Sunday. We got a game in 4 days, which is mind-blowing. I feel like this offseason really sped up, probably just due to the excitement of what the end of last year was, knowing what this team was, and then seeing a lot of the transitions that we made. So, with that being said, week 1, Kansas City, in Kansas City. My prediction is the Detroit Lions lose this game. Now, listen, before you just jump straight into the comment section, you're like, you're a traitor. Let's just be honest with ourselves. The Chiefs haven't changed all that much looking at their Super Bowl squad of last year. Chris Jones is the real coin flip, in my opinion, and most people's opinions. However, this is a very winnable game for the Lions. I think it's a 60-40. Chiefs have the 60%, Lions at the 40%. I really do believe the Lions can win this game. We are good enough to win this game. It's just a matter of looking at the Chiefs, looking at us, week 1 in Arrowhead as they are raising the banner. I'm going to give the Chiefs the W here because that is the prudent thing to do. I'm not going to slap on the blue sunglasses immediately. However, I think the Lions can win it. So, not all hope is lost. I think there's a ton of hope going into this game. In fact, if I have to play the Chiefs, if the Lions got to play the Chiefs at any point in this season, which we did, I would rather be week 1. Let's go. Let's get in there. Let's put up a fight and maybe even sneak out a W against the Super Bowl reigning champions. But I'm going to give the Lions the loss. The following week, Seattle coming to Detroit, week 2. I'm going to give the Lions a W here, especially looking at last year, seeing the way everything went, knowing that it all came back to Seattle. I think that juices the boys up. It's our home opener. Seattle, was Geno Smith just a one-hit wonder last year? Does he come back and have more this year, more juice? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to give the Lions a W here. We're 1-1 now heading into week 3. Week 3 here in Detroit again. Atlanta coming to town. Ritter, the Falcons, I look at them as a whole and I'm like, this is a team that is in the dumps. Detroit, after winning their first home opener, we're 1-1. Atlanta comes to town. I have no worry against Atlanta. I do like Smith. I do like Arthur Smith. I think that smart dude, the way that he's been coaching this team, bringing it back, I really do think Atlanta is a poise for some threat, but not enough to beat Detroit here in week 3 at home. Lions are 2-1. Week 4, primetime game, Thursday night in Green Bay. And everybody just take 1 second to remember the momentous W over Green Bay in Lambeau last year to finish off the season. Do you see it? Do you see Aaron Rodgers all pissed off and sad, walking off the field and mopey like a little baby? I see it. I remember it. That image will never go away. We swept the Packers last year. In fact, we've kind of had the Packers number for a couple years now, which has been incredible. And I really think that continues to go forward. Who is Jordan Love at this point? I mean, by week 4, we're going to have a much better read on him, obviously. So with that being said, I look at the Packers. They are a team that I think could have a good year, go 9-8, miss the playoffs. And quite frankly, I love our chances over them. I think the Detroit Lions are the front runner for this division. I think we snag a W away at Lambeau, putting us at 3-1. Next up, we got Carolina. And quite frankly, guys, I know that Carolina's coming to town. But Carolina is going to be a sneaky good team in that NFC South, a division that really has no leader. I like what Carolina's doing. I like what Frank Reich is doing. I do Staley going there. Even seeing them in that preseason game, as much as I hate Adam Thielen, hey man, guy still got juice. You see him out there with Bryce Young. I think that squad is going to be good. I think they're going to be under the radar good, and we're going to suffer a loss against Carolina, putting us at 3-2. Next up, we have a Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneers. From what I understand, they're going to be rocking their creamsicle uniforms, which is going to be really cool to see that day. But yeah, man, I think the Bucks are in disarray. That should be an easy W for Detroit. Could be one of those trap games where you just get schooled. Last time we played them, a couple years ago, Tom Brady, they demolished us. I think they put up a 50 bomb on us, but hey, that is neither here nor there. Lions take a W away in Tampa. That's a 4-2 squad. Next up, you got Baltimore in Baltimore near the end of October. You're 4-2. Baltimore, all I can think back to is Justin Tucker just sucking the life force out of us like a dementor on Sirius Black in front of everybody with that stupid long field goal that the NFL just gave them, even though there was a delay of game that they didn't call. Can't get into it, obviously. You just see, I still got some feelings regarding that one. I am going to give Baltimore the W here. Them bringing in OBJ, who, like Lamar Jackson, this squad, I think every year, especially early, there's something about them that catches fire and then they just dwindle off. I'm going to give Baltimore a W as they are at home. It's in October. We are now a 4-3 team. Next primetime game is a Monday night. Vegas, coming to town here in Detroit the day before Halloween. Things are getting spooky. Detroit Lions take the W over Vegas. I have no fear of them. Jimmy Garoppolo, will he be injured by then? Probably. Lions take a W over Vegas. We are 5-3. Following Vegas, we have a bye. Lions win that like always. Next up, we've got the Chargers. Hey, Chargers are a good squad. They are a good team. Justin Herbert is the real deal. I think the Chargers put a W over us. We're 5-4. Things are a little bit tighter than we want at this point in the season, but have no fear. Because next up, we got Chicago. This game is at home. I think the Lions absolutely dice Chicago. David Montgomery going up against his old boys, wants to prove who he is, the little bowling ball that he is. Lions put up a W at home against Chicago. That is 6-4. Next up, it's Thanksgiving Day. We got the Packers coming to town, and we sweep Green Bay. That's 7 W's. Again, not worried about it. Lions last year went 5-1 in the division. What will they be this year in division? All I know so far is we have swept the Packers. We're 7-4. Now, New Orleans comes up next, and they do give me reason and cause for pause. Didn't like that. But they really do give me a cause for concern. How is Carr at this point? What is he looking like? What's the squad look like? Jamal Williams, we got to go up against him. We know what he's capable of in the red zone. But honestly, push comes to shove, seeing Dan Campbell up against the team that has grown him into who he is in so many ways. Lions, Aaron Glenn as well. Lions take a W here, putting us at 8-4 in New Orleans. Next, we got Chicago in Chicago. Detroit goes in. Justin Fields running around the way he does. How is this team faring by this point in the season? Lions put up a W. We sweep Chicago as well. I think Detroit sweeps, at this point, both the Packers and Chicago. We're 9-4, baby. Now, at this point in the season, this is where things start getting real dicey. These games are going to be real tough. The NFL set us up in a peculiar way. Obviously, Denver comes up next here at home. Actually going to that game. Denver at home. Don't know what time or day it's going to be yet, flex. But it is Sean Payton and Dan Campbell going up against one another. How is Russell Wilson this year? Does he have more TDs than bathrooms in his home? These are the questions we got to ask ourselves. But really, Denver, going to be a tough game. But I like that it's in a dome. Most of our games are in a dome at the end of the season. And I trust Jared Goff in a dome. I think the guy can get it done. I think we beat Denver, putting us at 10-4. That's right, 10-4. But again, now this is where that schedule gets dicey because they have us going Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota. The NFL knows we're fighting for the North. We're fighting for that division title. That's why they gave us our best shot to have some steam here going up against one another against Minnesota at the end, because let's face it, that is the guess, is that Detroit or Minnesota is going to take the division. Unless you're Chris Brockman on Rich Eisen's show, who was like, Green Bay. And I'm like, bro, don't be that guy just throwing out bull crap answers because it's funny. But thank you, Rich Eisen, for picking Detroit to win the division. Anyways, long story short, Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota. It's Christmas Eve. I think at this point, if Detroit beats Minnesota, we clinch the division with 11 W's based on what's going on in our division as a whole. With that being said, the boys are juiced up. It's in Minnesota. This is where we wanted to be in the playoffs last year. I think we beat Minnesota. We're 11-4 at this point. We clinched the division for the first time. And then the end of the season, we actually ride out with 2 losses against Dallas and Minnesota again. And it's because we're resting some of the healthy guys. We end up going 11-6 as a whole for the Detroit Lions this year. We lose against Dallas. We lose against Minnesota at the end, but we're all fine with it because we have a division title. The Lions win the North for the first time in 30 some odd years. Really, my entire life was just kind of a bummer when I say it like that, when I think about it. Like that. 11-6, that is my record prediction. I really think the ceiling is 12 W's for the Lions. I think the floor is 9, but I do predict that the Lions end up with 11. We go 11-6, and we win the NFC North. We have our first home playoff game here in Detroit, and we all go nuts. I'll see you down in the city that night for whoever we're playing for a home playoff game. But hey, man, that's my prediction. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Like always, let me know, what are the Lions doing? Give us our record prediction. Give us our ceiling and the floor. Again, 11-6 is my prediction. 12 is the ceiling. 9 is the floor. If we hit 9, wild card gets a little scary. I don't know if we make it, but the NFC is kind of trash as a whole. So maybe. And which NFC team or NFC North team comes in second? I've got Minnesota placed there. I could see Green Bay sneaking it, but I do have Minnesota there. So drop thoughts in the comments. Let me know. And as always, I'll catch you next time. Let's get amped. We got Kansas City this week. I couldn't be more excited. Well, I guess I could be when the Lions win the division.